What causes lifting? We're talking about nails. If you're eager to find out, just stay tuned. What's up guys, and welcome back to my channel. If you are new to my channel, well, hi. My name is Celina and I am an international educator and ambassador for the nail brand Light Elegance. And in this video, we're gonna talk about something that you guys are asking me several times per day, and that is what causes lifting. I do wish that I had a simple answer for you, but I don't. I do have a list of things that could cause lifting. So are you sick and tired of hearing this phrase from your clients?
I just don't know what happened. It just popped off. I did nothing.
Well, thing is, as a nail tech, you more or less need to put your detective hat on, call for Watson, because there are tons of things that will make it pop off while she did nothing. In this video, I'm just gonna walk you through a bunch of different things that could cause lifting. And I'm not gonna go in too much detail with each problem, but we're gonna divide it into three categories. We have the nail tech, the client, and the material. So we have three different things to look at. Is it the nail tech's fault? Is it the client's fault? Or is it the material's fault? First off, we have the nail tech's fault. And most common thing is that the material was probably touching the cuticles and then it's gonna lift. We have bad prep, bad apex placement, or no apex whatsoever. What I mean about that is when the apex come out here, you have the weight in front of the finger, and then when you touch it and you're using your finger and your nail, it's gonna put stress back here and eventually it's gonna lift at the back. Same thing if you don't have any apex, could cause lifting as well. If you don't know what an apex is, Google, YouTube, whatever. I'm gonna do a video on that eventually, but that's a different video. The material application was too thick, hence under-cured. The UV lights could not penetrate through the gel down to the surface of the nail. Every time you have product that is under-cured, it will definitely cause lifting. The lifting problems from the last refill was not removed completely. Then it's gonna continue lifting until you see the client next time. The material is too thick around the edges. What happens is that the nail wants to flex and the material is too thick so it can flex and then it's gonna lift. The material was too thin around edges. Same thing, but in the opposite way. If it's too thin, it could also cause lifting around the edges. Liquid to powder ratio when it comes to acrylic. If the acrylic is too wet, you have too much liquid, it's gonna cause lifting. If you have too much powder and it's too dry, it's gonna cause lifting. This is a very controversial topic, but mixing brands, that could cause lifting. And then we have the most important thing, the lamp. UV or LED. When I get this question, why is the gel coming off? The first thing I ask is, what lamp are you using? Most of the times I get the answer that they're using, for example, Light Elegance gels with another brand of lamp. Problem is that when you're doing this, the gel is not gonna get cured properly and it's gonna cause lifting. Uncured product is gonna lift. And because I'm working with Light Elegance, of course, I'm gonna use that as an example, but Light Elegance is a product that needs a strong curing. And then if you have a lamp that doesn't have those features to make it strong, and we're not only talking about wavelength and the bulbs, it's more than that. It's the design inside, how the light is bouncing back and forth. I'm totally gonna do a video on this for you guys so you can understand, but another video. But my point is that if you use another lamp, you could end up with lifting because they're not compatible or they're not made for each other to get the perfect amount of curing. Then we have those things that could be a client thing. The nails are simply just too long for her to handle. She's hitting her nails into stuff everywhere and eventually it's gonna lift. She is picking or biting or bending the nails. Could be something that she's not aware of. Most probably is. because she's gonna tell you that the nails just popped off. I don't know what happened, but it could be that she's doing something that she's not aware of. The natural nails are too thin. I don't know if you've seen those type of nails, but it's like the nails are so thin, like when you breathe on them, it's like a leaf in the wind. Those type of nails are so hard to actually get anything to adhere to. I would try just using something very flexible. But overall, if you have nails that are really damaged and thin, it's gonna lift. The nails are simply just too dry. So if you look at the nails like this, and you can see that the nails are curving inwards, like you get a C curve, but it's more like an O curve. Then of course the material is gonna stay like this, and then the natural nail is gonna curve, and then it's gonna lift on the side. Also, if her natural nails are chipping, of course the material is gonna chip and lift together with her natural nails. Oil and lotion. Repeated pressure on the sides of the nails. It could be that she's holding the pencil in a certain way. If she has like a tick thing, like she's going like this, I don't know. But repeated pressure on the sides, of course, is gonna cause lifting. Repeated hitting on the nails. And I'm talking about, for me, for example, one period of time, these two fingers were always lifting at the back. And that was because, or actually my right hand. Anyways, that was because I was banging into stuff all the time, but I didn't really notice. It was like little tiny bangs all over the place. And then eventually it caused lifting. So usually it's like these two fingers are the most exposed ones, especially on your right hand if you're right-handed, and vice versa. But then you can actually try to push back the apex so it's really, really far back. That helped me a lot, so you can try that. Wrong placement inside the light. So, for example, your client is everywhere. She puts her hand inside the light and she doesn't really know what she's doing. It's like half in, half out. You don't really know what's going on. And then you think it's fully cured, but it's not. It's actually undercured. And what happens with undercured product? It causes lifting. And this is especially important when it comes to the thumbs, because if you do the whole hand, you see that my thumb is actually pointed this way. So down here, I'm not gonna get as much light as I'm gonna get on this side. So if you have problems with lifting along this side of the thumb right here, it could be because the nail is placed this way. So then just simply do the thumbs separately if you have that problem. Some lamps, like for the Light Elegance lamp, it doesn't matter. You can actually put the whole hand inside and it's gonna cure everything because it's designed that way. But some lamps, you need to do the thumbs separately. So if you have the sides of the thumbs on this side, if they're lifting, that's why. The client is exposed to too much water, and that could be because she's a hairdresser. It could be because she's been on vacation and been swimming a lot in the pool. It could be because the dishwasher broke and now she has to do the dishes by hand. Or it could be that she's taking daily baths. Those two last ones are actually true. I had a client whose dishwasher broke, and then suddenly all her nails just started to lift and it looked like a total mess. Eventually we figured out that her dishwasher broke. She wasn't even thinking about it. Another client also had tons of problems with lifting, and it took us probably a couple of months to actually realize that, well, you're taking daily baths. Like every morning she took a bath and she had her nails, of course, or hands under the water. So I told her strictly to not put her hands under the water until the next appointment. What happened? All her nails looked flawless. The client is using the nails as tools. And if you're a nail tech, you know that that's a big no-no. Pregnancy can, in some cases, actually cause lifting. And then, because it's hormonal, it pops off. And we're talking about days. Sometimes the pregnancy will not affect the nails at all. Sometimes it's gonna be a total mess. So that's very individual. Same thing with medication. If your client is exposed to strong medications, it could cause lifting. And this of course differs from medication to medication. It's hard to tell. Stress is another thing that could cause lifting. And that's a thing that's kind of hard to determine, like, is this caused by stress or something else? But if your client has gone through like an extremely stressful period of time, or maybe a trauma or something, then the body could react by just pushing those nails off. It's not super common, but it happens. The nails just simply grew out to be too long. And here's the same basic thing with the apex placement, because if you start the apex back here and then when it comes out here, the weight is in front of the finger and then it's gonna push the nail down and then eventually it's gonna lift at the back. Kind of the same thing, but the nails were just too old. Nails are nails. We use our nails and fingers and hands daily. The fake nails are not created to resist a nuclear war. We're using our hands, and of course after a while it's gonna lift, they're gonna break. That's just life. We shouldn't walk around like this because we're afraid that our nails are gonna break or pop off. So if the nails are just simply too old, it's gonna lift, it's gonna break. That's just how it is. Embrace it. And now here's the part where we're gonna blame the material. I would say that most of the cases it's because of the nail tech or because of the client. But we have a couple of things that could cause problems when it comes to material. First thing, the gel wasn't stirred properly. Some gels do not have to be stirred. I don't ever stir my Light Elegance gels, but there are brands where you need to stir the gel. The lamp is too old. If you have old bulbs or an old LED light, then it could cause lifting. And if you have a UV light, you can actually notice like if one bulb is going out before another, then you will probably notice that all your clients come back with problems on this side maybe, or whatever it could be. And that's gonna let you know where the problem is in the lamp. Cheap or bad quality products will, of course, cause lifting. That's just how it is. No more need to be said. The material is too flexible for her nails. So let's say her nails are super thick and then you have something that is very flexible on top. Then the gel starts to move and her nails underneath is just like super stiff. Then it could cause lifting. Same thing on the opposite end. The material was too strong for her nails. So her natural nails are really flexible and then you have something really stiff on top. Then her natural nail is gonna start moving. The gel on top is not gonna move and then it's gonna cause lifting. So we have a lifting problem. What do? Well, here's a protocol for you to go over when you have lifting problems. A couple of questions to ask yourself and your client to figure out what the problem is. 1, where did the lifting start? At the back, at the sides, the front, or in the middle? When did this start? Was it right away, a couple of days later, or maybe a couple of weeks? How does the natural nail look underneath? Is it clean and not damaged? Or do you see white spots and ridges? If it's clean, then it probably has to do with undercuring, hormonal problems, or you didn't do the prep properly. If you do have ridges or white spots, it means that the nail was pulled off or it was hit. Some kind of force was added to the nail to make it pop off. So clients, you cannot fool us. We know everything. Is it on all 10 fingers or just a couple? Is it only the thumbs? Has your client been doing anything differently the past couple of weeks? For example, did her dishwasher break, perhaps? Is this a problem for all of your clients or just this single one client? If this is a problem with all of your clients, then it comes back to you. If it's just a problem with this specific person, then it most likely has to do with that person. If there are pieces of the material left, what does it look like? Has it been bitten off? It's like jagged edges. Has it been picked off? Is it a clean cut? Or is simply everything missing? And there you go. Those are my advice and tips and tricks for you guys when it comes to lifting. Make sure to put your detective hat on and don't give up. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel while you're just hanging around. And if you want to see more nail action, just check out my channel. You'll find loads of tutorials and other nail stuff. Good luck with your nail work, and I will see you in the next video. Take care. Bye.